This program allows people to confront those challenges and work through them in a supported atmosphere. We are a job. We are conservation professionals. There is no doubt about it. This is a paid experience, and we enjoy to pay a wage that is meaningful and reflective of the importance of conservation work and the industry of conservation and outdoor recreation at large. But through this experience, they are perhaps encouraged to learn and grow through mistakes, through trials and tribulations, to grow from each experience.
Imagine a place where stress fades, fresh air fills your lungs, and adventure awaits around every corner. Welcome to Think Outside, the podcast that inspires you to explore, connect, and embrace the outdoors. Hi, welcome to Think Outside with the Pennsylvania Parks and Forest Foundation. I'm your host, Marci Mowery, and with me today is Mike Piaskowski, Director of the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you, Marci. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have this conversation because almost every interview I've done this far, the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps has come up.
Really? Okay, great.
Yeah, so I was talking to the Loyal Sock, and they mentioned the shelters that were built along the old loggers path. Hills Creek talked about the improvements to the yurts and the modern cabins. So the Outdoor Corps program is having an impact. So can you explain to the listeners what the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps program is and what the mission of the program is?
Sure. The Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps is Pennsylvania's premier youth conservation workforce training program. Our mission is to empower young people to be stewards of the land and leaders in conservation through hands-on work experience. We develop individuals both personally and professionally through the process. You can't help but be changed by being involved in this program, whether it's through training, working with other people, interpersonal skills, leadership, all those types of things, problem solving. They're all a natural part of the program. And all of us, myself included, down to our program participants or up to our program participants, can't help but be changed from beginning to end of this program.
How long has the program existed?
This is our 10-year anniversary. The Outdoor Corps has been in existence since 2016, and this is our 10th field season, so we're celebrating 10 years.
That's amazing. And over that 10-year time period, have you seen an evolution in the program?
Oh, absolutely. We initially started with a handful of youth crews in the summertime to test the waters after some feasibility work, and the program immediately gained traction. I think once we were in the field, leadership at DCNR just felt like, why haven't we not been doing this all along? So the program really expanded quickly to serve both youth ages 15 to 18 and also young adults ages 18 to 25 in that second year. And this year in 2025, we're at our largest cohort yet. I believe we have 18 youth crews and 11 young adult crews that will be deployed throughout the year.
And how do those crews differ, the youth and the young adult?
Well, they differ. Certainly age is the easiest. Again, the youth cohort is 15 to 18 years old primarily. We do serve people if they have needs, perhaps that they may be a little bit older, but they're still appropriate to serve on a youth crew. We may pull people into the youth experience. And then the young adult crews are 18 to 25-year-olds. And the work differs. Certainly the older crews can get into more technical work. They're in the field for longer in the season, so they're deployed for about a 9-month engagement. The leaders are on a little bit longer. And the equipment that we can use with our young adults is a little bit different. We can get into some motorized type of equipment based on labor laws that our younger cohort can't get into. The strength of the youth crews, though, although they can't, generally work with that, they can't work with that power equipment. There is strength in having many, many hands available for work to be done. So youth crews are extremely effective at tasks like trail maintenance, perhaps if there are playgrounds to be rehabilitated, moving the mulching and things like that. But they do also get into some nice technical work too, even if it's building the shared little libraries that you'll see pop up here and there, or perhaps nesting boxes, using those hand tools. They are the skills that you learn building those. You're basically building a little house So the skills that can be learned during those experiences are quite technical. In general, youth crews, many hands make the work light, and our young adult crews are more apt to tackle more technical projects throughout our park and forest systems.
What do you mean by that, by technical projects?
Oh, perhaps there's a challenging trail switchback. Perhaps there is a pavilion build that needs to be done. Our staff work, our DCNR staff work alongside, as this is a training program for our young people, work alongside our outdoor corps members to teach them things like how to do concrete work or how to build a pavilion, how to make things plumb and square. In the past, we've done a lot of roofing projects and hope to return to those in the future. So those types of more technical PPE, definitely needed type projects are things that the adult crews really kind of excel at and really enjoy.
And PPE, personal protection.
That's correct.
Thank
you.
Yes,
thank you.
We have all these acronyms.
We do.
Yeah,
indeed.
the POC, their PPE. It sounds like a lot of the work that they're doing not only involves, some knowledge of the trades, but also problem-solving skills. And I would imagine there's a lot of interpersonal communication and team-building skills that are required to work in these groups.
That is absolutely correct. And that's one of the most valuable parts of this program. We love our projects. You mentioned some of them at the outset. And being in the field for 10 years, we're really starting to amass a pretty big portfolio of places we've worked. And in fact, one of the things we need to do is go back and catalog all the work that we have been doing over the years, because many times there are little side projects that you'll jump to if you have a minute. So we'll be undergoing an effort to capture all of those. But through all of the principles that are outlaid in this program, the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps, there are industry partners such as yourself. As you know, we couldn't do this without PPFF. Without your support, we are supported in the field and work in partnership with the Student Conservation Association on this program. And their expertise is in fielding these youth corps programs. And the Outdoor Corps would not be what it is without them. And the principles and the practices that they bring from their years of experience in the field have just made all the difference. They've made the program shine. And what they bring is, from day one, is a training, a program focused around inclusion, around accessibility, around problem solving, around team building, around a person-centered approach to this work. Our members of all our ages, we work in the heat, we work in the rain, sometimes we work in the snow, and everything in between. And in those conditions, there are certainly issues that come up that need to be discussed and figured out, whether it's a technical issue with a project, how are we going to get this done, what is our approach today, to injuries in the field. Certainly, conservation work comes with risk, and our members are not immune to that. Or whether it's interpersonal conflicts. This program meets all of those things head on. And through the evolution of the season, as the season unfolds, our members go through all of the steps of group dynamics, the forming, norming, storming, adjourning at the end. And there are lessons to be learned in every experience. Certainly there are lessons to be learned in every experience in everyday life, in any job that you have. This program allows people to confront those challenges and work through them in a supported atmosphere. We are a job, we are a professional, we are conservation professionals. There is no doubt about it. This is a paid experience, and we enjoy to pay a wage that is meaningful and reflective of the importance of conservation work and the industry of conservation and outdoor recreation at large. But through this experience, they are, I don't want to say free to make mistakes, but almost so, and perhaps encouraged to learn and grow through mistakes, through trials and tribulations, to grow from each experience. And we really do hope, and we really do see that people, our young people, not only engage in the physical work, but also the mental work of problem solving, team building, community building, and they really begin to thrive on it almost. They develop the skills that allow them to have hard conversations and allow them to be placed into, or outside of, I should say, their comfort zones that allows them to grow over and over and over again. by the end of the season, it's really remarkable to see the transformation in the vast majority of our participants from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. It's really something to behold, and we're quite proud of it.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to sit through some of the presentations at the end of the year, and the professionalism of the core members and the enthusiasm that they have and the pride that they have in the work that they were able to perform. And I applaud the program for allowing them to be vulnerable in a safe place and to allow them to take the risks, because so often we're eliminating risk for young people. And there is such a growth experience in making a mistake and stepping outside of your comfort zone. So that's a very good aspect of the program. So thank you for that. You're from the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, and a lot of the opportunities for the core members are within state parks and state forests. And you mentioned that they're working alongside of staff, but is the program limited to just park and forest lands?
Thank you. No, it is not. We actively recruit what we call public partners into the program. And a public partner could be anyone from a nonprofit organization, a county conservation district, anyone who is stewarding public lands. We're seeking partnerships to develop partnerships with you to bring the core out to help you achieve your goals, your stewardship goals. And at the same time, it's a great learning opportunity for our young people to learn what opportunities there might be for volunteerism or for professional work in their local communities, and to begin to understand the fabric of the conservation community in their local area and on a statewide and even sometimes beyond level. So the Public Partnerships Program is something that we have been building over the last several years. And it's been very successful. We have, I don't know the exact number, but I know we have our most partners ever this year. And there's a formal agreement process that folks go through, and everybody's lawyers get involved in signing the agreements, which are not very arduous, I don't think, but always a concern. But basically, those agreements just give the program permission to operate on your land, and takes care of all the liability and all those other concerns, spells all that out. But yes, if there are opportunities in your local landscape, maybe it's planting a riparian buffer or redoing the mulch in a playground or something like that, we would love to partner with you on that. We have crews situated in many areas across the state. There are some donut holes kind of that we're just not able to reach right now, but perhaps we will be able to in the future. And we would love to talk to anyone regardless, because we do sometimes employ crews that go out on week-long hitches where they'll stay overnight near an area that we're just not serving with one of our residential type crews, which is the vast majority of the crews in our program, where folks go home and sleep every night. But yes, our Public Partnerships Program is open to the public to participate in the outdoor core activities.
So they're bringing a lot of the crews are bringing value, not just to parks and forests, but you might see them in your communities. They might be helping to improve the water quality in your area. How is the public benefiting from the work of the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps?
The vast majority of projects that we've been working on over the years are visitor use oriented. So the public benefits greatly. We've done hundreds of miles of trail improvement over the years. We have erected a number of visitor use structures over the years. When we do conservation work, we're removing invasive species, we're planting native species, which helps all of us. Every plant or plug or tree we can possibly get in the ground at this point, I see as a win. So the entire program has direct public benefit. And I guess thinking in a larger picture, I think, as I mentioned in the beginning, we're trying to create the next generation of conservation leaders here. That's one of our goals. We're creating the next generation of Pennsylvania's conservation leadership. So having young people afforded the opportunity to serve in this space at such a young age, to develop their professional networks, to understand how not every conservation district is run by the county. Those little nuances, as well as the larger picture, as I said, of the fabric of the conservation community. We are hoping that the skill sets that they gain, the confidence that they gain, will make people not just more employable in this industry, but also better and more proactive leaders in their local communities, so that they will be able to, when they are ready, to turn around and help the next generation along their path And that cycle will perpetuate into the future so that we are constantly turning around, looking back, reaching back, and pulling up that next generation of leaders, that next generation of young people to be successful in no matter what their core interests are. When you come into this program, no matter really what you're interested in, whether it's accounting or comic books or video games or being a lawyer or an engineer, an architect, whatever it is, whatever you want to do, food service, we want you to gain and retain a conservation ethic for your entire life. And this program, it does that. It absolutely does that for our young people. So
what I'm hearing is, it serves as a pathway to conservation careers, but it's also serving as a pathway to any career, but you're bringing conservation knowledge with you because that can be applied in your day-to-day life. You can be an accountant working in conservation. You could be a lawyer working in conservation. So it's the skill set that is being developed is applicable no matter what your life path is. And even if you don't know what your path is, you're 15 years old, it might help you determine what your path is.
That's absolutely correct. Yes, no matter what you decide to go into or where you find your path taking you, the principles that you'll learn are directly applicable to any field. They're, as we know, you and I, Marci, no matter what your job is, every job pretty much touches conservation. So yes, whether you're a commercial developer, perhaps 10, 15 years down the line, you might think, well, maybe we should leave that patch of woods alone and develop things around that green space. Those types of thoughts are coming, hopefully will come out of this program of having that conservation mindset no matter what. Yeah, so yes, agreeing.
How many Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps alumni are there at this point?
We have over 1,500 alumni at this point. And the vast majority of those have come through our youth program. Our youth program is our largest program each year. We have, again, this year, 18 crews, and each crew consists of two adult leaders of any age. They just have to be over 21. Our oldest youth leader was in his 70s, and he was absolutely incredible, an incredible powerhouse of an individual, Darrell, up in the Wellsboro area. So this is a great opportunity for seniors, too, for knowledge transfer, just as an aside. We have actually several senior citizen youth leaders now, and it's incredible, as well as school teachers and folks from all other walks of life. But anyway, I digress on that. We have, over 1,500 alumni in the program so far, and we have people placed in DCNR, Conservation Natural Resources. We have people placed in Department of Agriculture and the Game Commission. We have folks that have gone on to serve in the Forest Service, county conservation districts, private industry, and land management companies throughout Pennsylvania and beyond, the Park Service, if I didn't mention them. So yes, our participant alumni are growing, and our alumni that are actively engaged in employment in the industry continue to grow as well. We place a lot of emphasis on career planning and job readiness through things like resume development, seminars on coaching on interview skills and presenting yourself professionally. And sometimes I find myself standing in the woods and repeatedly shaking hands and looking people in the eye just to practice a decent handshake, to get people comfortable with giving a decent handshake and looking folks in the eye when they greet them. It's important work. It's absolutely important work. And our young people are benefiting from all of it.
It's very important work. If I recall correctly, you also have some specialty crews. You have American Sign Language crew.
Correct, yes. Mm-hmm.
And you have, the name is eluding me, the Cultural Resources.
Our Cultural Resources crew, yes. And we also have a trail specialty crew again this year. We enjoy these specialty crews. They've been absolutely incredible for the program, and I'd like to think that they've been incredible for our participants. We're in our I believe this will be our fourth, perhaps fifth year of running our American Sign Language Inclusion Crew. We do that program in conjunction with a nonprofit organization called Core That. And Core That is based out of Baltimore. And Core That specializes in providing these experiences for the deaf and hard of hearing community. So we work closely with them and currently with the Western Pennsylvania School for the Deaf out in their Pittsburgh campus to house our young people in the summertime. We have 2 3-week cohorts in the summertime for our ASL crew. And that has been an amazing experience. Just the amount of work every year is impressive from all our crews, to be honest with you. But it just seems like for some reason, the American Sign Language crew They're hard workers. Every year they work very hard. I don't know if it's the project selection or the fact that they are more of a residential model, so that they're on site kind of for a longer period of time. They really dig into much more technical types of work probably than our other youth crews do. So that's been amazing. Our cultural resources crew is an adult crew, and that crew focuses on identifying and stewarding the cultural resources on DCNR lands, DCNR stewarded lands. For many years, DCNR, if our listeners don't know, is I think we're the largest land steward in Pennsylvania. And between our 2.2 million acres of forest land, I wasn't sure if it was 3 yet, but 2.2 million acres of forest land, and our 124/5 state parks.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Cool. Yeah, fingers crossed. We have a lot of cultural resources. We've always done our best to manage the recreational resources, the natural resources and forestry. But our cultural resources kind of took a back burner for a number of years. And we realized that and worked with the Pennsylvania Historic and Museum Commission over the years and have really taken our responsibilities with our cultural resources at the department to heart. And through the hiring of some professional staff in both parks and forestry and the creation of the cultural resources crew with the outdoor corps, we've really hit the ground running in becoming better stewards of our cultural resources. Up until this point, our cultural resources have really been stewarded by our local land stewards, our district foresters, our park managers, our maintenance staff, and our education specialists. They've really they were the point of contact. They cared about the local history, and they're in the local landscape. So they would study it, they would learn it, they would know it, and it's been incredible. But now we have a opportunity where we are engaging deeper with that through phase 1 archaeological studies, maybe phase 2 if they're needed. We're helping out with that with the Corps. We are documenting and cataloging, and we are working on a physical plant now where we'll be able to store collections from across the system when we do find things. So yes, that's been very exciting to have that cultural resource crew in place to be able to do that work. It's been really amazing, actually. And the folks from our cultural resources crew are getting work as well in that industry for private firms, being project managers, field managers, and chief investigators and things. So it's been wonderful. Our trail crew, we brought our trail crew back this year. We have run a trail crew in the past. They are a hitch-based crew. Well, they'll go out for 8 days at a time, come home for 6 days at a time, 6 days at a time off. But they specialize in trail work. And this year we're doing a lot of work up in Bald Eagle and Rothrock State Forests. And I also anticipate bringing back our resource management crew, where we are focusing on invasive species removal, also working on reestablishing habitat through plantings. So all types of specialty crews that we have run or are currently running. And the sky's the limit on those. We are always looking for new opportunities to establish new partnerships, to bring on other specialty type crews, whether it's to serve a certain population or skill set. Those are all things that we're interested in doing to see if we can become kind of a conduit for young people into careers in those industries and areas.
They all sound like such great opportunities. How does somebody apply to become a member of the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps?
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, our contracted service provider for this program has been the Student Conservation Association, and they take care of all of the administrative aspects of this program, recruiting, onboarding. So applications for the program can be found by typing into your search engine of choice, the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps. It should pop up. It'll take you to the Student Conservation Association website, where you can find more information and submit an application for an upcoming season or a current season if we have vacancies that we need to backfill.
So since we have you, are there any tips or advice for potential applicants?
I think whenever you are applying for anything, it's important to not only submit the application, but follow up with an email or a phone call.
What?
Yes. The most effective method would be a phone call to the hiring manager themselves. So in any application you're submitting, there should be a contact person. And yes, reaching out to that contact person directly to express your interest, let them know that you've submitted the application, and you'd be happy to follow up with any information is always a very good idea.
I agree. Don't let your application go into the void.
Don't let it go into the
Because
void.
you never know if it reached the person it was intended to reach. So definitely phone call is a great idea. Are there any ways that the public can support the program or get involved?
A great way for the public to get involved is through an existing friends group. Many of our parks and forests have friends groups, and many of those friends groups are actively cultivating projects on the ground, getting stuff done. Having the outdoor corps work with volunteers, alongside volunteers in our park and forest systems is an extremely valuable experience for us. That generational knowledge transfer is so important. As we all know, our average age in our service organizations and our volunteer cohorts is getting up there. And organizations are always looking for that next line of people to step up and move in. So I would encourage anyone in a friends group, or if you're interested, to look for a friends group in your area, to get involved and encourage your park, your forest, your place to invite the outdoor corps out for a work day or a work week, and then bring your volunteers out to work alongside us so that we can learn about the local place, the local history, the techniques that have been used to care for the land, and the importance that the place holds to the people of that area. Those are great ways for the public to become involved.
I love that idea of knowledge transfer. We oftentimes are, not oftentimes, but we're losing people that have such vast knowledge, not just of place, but of history, of different skill sets that we may need. And being able to transfer that to the next generation is really a gift.
It really is. And I see a lot of the dynamic between younger folks and older folks, because I watch it all the time. It's part of what I do with this work here. And it's what I do with work in general. I'm middle-aged myself, probably a little bit further than that if you do the actual math. And I see young people coming in, and there is a need for everyone in that circle, in that continuum. We all have skill sets. We all have experiences and ideas that are valuable to moving our goals forward, not just our collective goals, but our individual goals as well. I am not perhaps as, I want to say energetic, maybe mobile is the word. I don't know what the word is anymore, as I used to be. But I have the experience to be able to see a landscape from a pretty high point of view and connect the dots to make things happen. And that point of view has grown from practical experience of making my own mistakes and learning from those. And for a young person to come in that maybe doesn't have that as high of a vantage point to see all of those opportunities, but they have the energy, the excitement, the outside the box thinking, the grasp of new technologies and new tools and new ways of thinking. When we can marry such things together and people begin to work together across those generations, that's where magic happens. And there have been incredible relationships built and small community relationships built between our members and our more seasoned volunteers and staff. That exchange of thought, of idea, of energy, of caring, of stewardship, and built on those shared values. It's just magical when it happens. And it is an experience that benefits everyone involved.
That is magical. And it actually gave me goosebumps. That's wonderful to think about. I would add that another way that the public could get involved is if you know a young person and you're listening to the podcast, share the information, share the podcast, let the young people know that these opportunities exist. And then also, keep an eye on our Take Action page of the Pennsylvania Parks and Forest Foundation website, because periodically we are advocating for investment in the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps. It does rely on funding that is allocated in the budget, as well as through the Workforce Reemployment Fund and through the Department of Labor and Industry.
That's correct.
So it's a good investment in the future of the Commonwealth. So keep an eye on our website. There's actions to be taken. We will be emphasizing those.
Thank you for that. Yes.
Mike, as we start to wind up our conversation, what's your vision for the future of the program?
My vision for the future of the program is a few more crews serving the areas geographically that we're not serving right now. deeper engagement. We're constantly trying to figure out how to deliver this program in a deeper fashion so that we are sure that our folks are walking away with the best experience that they could possibly have. So to me right now, my thinking is, what types of certifications can we offer? More certifications. Currently, we train in CPR, first aid, chainsaw work, and some other things. But are there certifications that the industry is really looking for right now? OSHA 10 is another thing that we championed last year for all of our adult members. They left the program with OSHA 10 training. So how do we deepen that training experience? Can we teach people how to maybe use more small equipment, or can we be a conduit for someone to get their CDL or perhaps some other educational credits from the experience? So really deepening the experience for our members to make sure that they're walking away from the program with all the tools that they need, or the best tool set that they need to be successful in this industry. Not just to gain employment, but to be retained over a long period of time so that they stay in the industry and continue to contribute and grow their networks as they move through their professional careers.
And that could be another way that the public could get involved, is if they have a skill set that's unique that they would be willing to share, or I'm thinking about Dr. Alan Dietrich Ward talking about the cradle of conservation and the history of conservation. If somebody has an idea or a thought to share with you, is there a way that they can reach out to you? And we can share that in the show notes.
Yes, certainly. Everyone is happy to email me at the state or give me a phone call. I'm happy to speak with folks at any time. We were recently looked favorably upon in the governor's budget, which allowed us to bring on some regional staff, regional managers and regional staff. So we didn't go into our organizational structure today, but we have now people that are closer on the ground to communities across the state that can come out and speak with you to help learn your goals and see if we might be a fit to help or not. But yes, we are always looking for those opportunities. We just had Dr. Alan Dietrich Ward to speak with our entire adult cohort just a few weeks ago, and it was a great presentation. Those opportunities, we welcome them all, honestly, yes.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you being here today to talk about the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps. It's exciting what you've been able to do with the program, how you've been able to grow it. Congratulations on your 10-year anniversary.
Thank you.
That's an amazing record, and what the young people have been able to do is really beneficial to everybody in the Commonwealth. So thank you for your vision, thank you for your hard work, and thank you for your team. And also thank you for the Corps members who have participated.
Thank you, Marci. And thanks to the Parks and Forests Foundation, too, as well. We really appreciate all of your support. This program wouldn't be here without your support either. So we work constantly together.
We do.
We've been working together for many years now, and I really do appreciate all of your hard work and support and out of the foundation. So thank you.
You're quite welcome. Happy to support. It's a great program. Thank you for listening to Think Outside, where every episode invites you to discover new places, build confidence, and find inspiration in nature. Love the show? Subscribe for more inspiration, share with a fellow explorer, and let's keep thinking outside together. For more resources and inspiration, visit thinkoutsidepodcast.org.